Leona's idea of going to Orus Hill has been buried in her heart for nearly 2 decades. Since the death of Chang Ying and his wife, she wanted to go to Orus Hill to take a look. After that, that was the place where Chang Ying spent his last days. As a woman who has loved him for most of her life, she especially hopes to go to Orus Hill for a walk, see, and live for a while, trying to find traces of Chang Ying's existence in Orus Hill. However, as a woman who has been married, as a married woman, her moral values have always reminded her that she should not go to Orus Hill because that is indeed unfair to her husband. Going quietly to Wade's grave to pay respect to Chang Ying is already what Leona feels most guilty about Xin in her heart. If she goes to Orus Hill again, it would have been really inappropriate. But now, she has no moral constraints. Xin's mind derailed first and he had broken the gentleman agreement between her and himself. In that case, she no longer has to be bound by any reason. It is time to realize her wish to visit Orus Hill. When Ziyu heard her mother said that she was going to Orus Hill, she immediately asked happily, "Mom. Brother and I are just planning to go to Orus Hill. Let's go together." Leona asked curiously, "What are you going to do in Orus Hill? Why didn't you listen to me?" Zhifei hurriedly said, "Mom, I am going to Orus Hill because of the company's business needs. It happens to say that I will take Ziyu around. If you are also coming, then I will arrange a plane and hotel reservation." Leona smiled and said, "You don't need to arrange a hotel. Your grandfather has an old house in Orus Hill. It has been taken care of for these years. Let's live there when we go." Ziyu asked in surprise, "Mom, Grandpa still has a house in Orus Hill. Why have I never heard of it?" Leona smiled and said, "Your dad is a little apprehensive about Orus Hill, so I haven't taken you to Orus Hill for so many years, so naturally you don't know about the house." Having said that, Leona introduced, "Your grandfather's ancient house in Orus Hill is very impressive. It is next to the presidential palace. That house has existed since ancient times, it survived through successive dynasties and until the country became the Republic of China. Over the years, all the people who lived there were big figures. In the 1970s, your grandfather spent a lot of money to buy it, and occasionally he and your grandma lived there for a few days." When Zhifei heard that his father was a little apprehensive about Orus Hill, he instantly remembered the past. He had heard of some things back then, knowing that Chang Ying, his mother's favorite back then, died in Orus Hill. Therefore, his heart suddenly became a little tangled. At this time, Ziyu on the side said without hesitation, "Mom, why don't you go to Grandpa's house to have a good rest tonight? Let's go to Orus Hill early tomorrow morning." Leona said, "Okay, you two should not talk to your dad about me and him. This is a matter between the two of us. No matter what, it will only affect the relationship between me and him, me and you, or him. You two must not be affected in any way, understand?" Zhifei and Ziyu returned in unison. "Understood, Mom," Leona said with satisfaction. "Okay, I'm at your grandmother's house, so I'll spend some time here." Ziyu hurriedly said, "Mom, then you have a good rest tonight. I will call you tomorrow morning." "It is good." Ziyu hung up the phone, and Zhifei on the side said with some worry, "Ziyu, Dad has been a little worried about Orus Hill. If we go to Orus Hill with Mom at this time, will he be very angry?" Ziyu snorted coldly. What about getting angry? He had an illegitimate daughter outside, and he took her home grandiosely and put her under the eyes of our family. How could he not think that we would have a family of 3? "Are you angry?" After a pause, Ziyu said angrily, "Seriously, I still want to confront him face to face? We should go to Orus Hill, the 3 of us, to give him a signal. To let him know that all this was his fault." Zhifei said awkwardly. "Hurt, this kind of thing, how can we as children say something?" As he was talking, Zhifei continued, "There are so many top rich people in this world. Some of these people don't indulge in extramarital affairs. Dad was just confused at that time. Among these people, he is still can be considered to be a very good one." Ziyu asked with a very serious expression, "How can you say that? Can a rich person be disloyal to marriage?" Zhifei hurriedly said, "Oh, I didn't mean that. I just said that I don't think our dad's plot is very bad. If he admits his mistakes and regrets sincerely, he can be forgiven. Mom will resolutely follow for a divorce. Is it a bit ill-considered?" After all, the relationship between them as husband and wife has been for more than 20 years, plus we 2 children, can't we give our dad a chance? Ziyu said earnestly, you have a typical scumbag thinking. When it gets bigger, the three views are not right. I ask you, if you get married in the future and your wife cheats on your back, can you forgive her? Jufei said awkwardly, it's not like that. After all, men cheating and women cheating, it is not the same thing. Why isn't it the same thing? Ziyu said with some irritation. Do you feel that there is a matter of inferiority between men and women? A man can be forgiven if a man cheats, but a woman can't be? Jufei, I just realized for the first time in so many years that you are so politically incorrect, I tell you. If you make this kind of mistake in the future, even if your wife forgives you, I won't forgive you. Then I will call you a scumbag. Jufei was scolded by Ziyu and said with an embarrassing expression, oh my aunt, your mouth is too bad, I didn't do anything, why would you become a scumbag? Ziyu said coldly. This kind of thinking is a typical scumbag thinking. I think it's great to have 2 bags of money, so you can mess around outside. If you really want to do this, then you don't want to pursue Sarah. After that, Sarah is also a lady of everybody. Your scumbag thinking is simply not worthy of her. I suggest you, from the entertainment industry, find a female celebrity who is all about money and wants to marry a rich family for power and status. At that time, you will make a good impression with others in advance. You give her enough money and provide her with a good enough life, and she must not interfere with your other affairs, such as being outside with any woman. A win-win for everyone? When Jufei heard this, his face was gloomy, and said, am I wrong? After speaking, he quickly turned away from the subject and said, by the way, I will arrange the plane soon and we will fly to Oru's Hill together tomorrow morning. Ziyu saw that he wanted to change the subject and immediately said aggressively, Jufei. Respecting women and respecting your partner is a compulsory course and a basic moral principle for every man. If you become a scumbag in the future, I will never call you my brother.